and welcome to Home Time, a little show where I try and cheer you up. This man wins my award for Throw of the Week.
What the fuck?
What a dickhead. I had to. Here's a tip. If you're going to do a TikTok video, make sure the road's clear.
All of that, mama, party girl, she just want to have fun too. They say you ain't wifey type, but I don't care.
And in technology news, they taught the Nigel Farage sex robot how to bang a pot. Nigel Farage there, celebrating the NHS with all the gusto of a mouse fart. Why is he so quiet? Just come on, let's bloody do this. Let's celebrate those heroes. But you got a football game with Farage. We've scored! Yeah. I actually know why he was doing it. If you listen carefully, he's actually speaking in Morse code. Exactly. That isn't how you show appreciation for the front line. This is. Also, what's he wearing? He looks like he was made in that Wuhan lab with Spam and Quality Street. It wasn't just me taking the piss. Some of the reactions on Twitter were brilliant. Some were funny. The puppet outside Timson's has come to life. Others were perceptive. They've written slow outside his house, tremendous trolling, and some hit the nail on the head. If you had your way, many of those workers you applaud wouldn't even be here. Damn right. And yet, Farage is now claiming that he is a key worker after travelling 100 miles to make a film about migrants. How is he a key worker? He's not a doctor. He's not a nurse. He's a divisive, opportunistic, fear-mongering fuckwit. In the middle of a pandemic, he drove 100 miles to say this.
I'm here at Pet Level in East Sussex. This is now the favoured beach for migrants to come.
So where are they? That beach is emptier than a monk's wank bank. Wouldn't you love it if like a Syrian truck driver working for Tesco had just pulled over and gone, "Oi, Nigel, why don't you go back where you came from, mate?" It's so ridiculous. We've had years of this. We don't need foreigners. Well, it turns out we do. Because when shit hit the fan, what happened? Plane carrying 150 skilled Romanian fruit and veg pickers lands in UK to help save harvest. Listen, I know we told you all to fuck off, but we need strawberries. Classic this country. Rant over, let's crack on with the show. It's an absolute belter today. We got loads of great guests. First up is the brilliant Joe Gilgun. You are used to seeing him like this.
What are you going to do, Vin? Spend the rest of your life down here getting stoned and pissing in bottles?
Yes, actually, Irene. And so would you if your dick was on the chopping block, love.
Hang on, why are you pissing in bottles? There's a fucking Portaloo.
It's full.
Where are you shitting?
Never mind where I'm shitting. Christ.
But earlier this week, we caught up with him like this. You look wonderful. What I love is I can see weights.
Yeah.
And you're underneath stairs, and you look like you're wearing a kind of like an art smock.
I'm going to explain everything, right?
Okay.
Because it's not what it looks like.
Right.
So I made a desperate attempt to try and get healthy. I feel like taking you to my fridge, dude, because I'm telling you, man, it's absolutely. I'm on quinoa, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't really digest that stuff.
Fridge, let's go.
Yeah,
bring it. Yeah.
Check this out, brethren. You turn you round. How do I do it? Look at this situation that's occurring here.
Oh.
2 of them a day.
That's all right. Where are you getting them from?
I like to eat a lot of this as well. Can you get that on the TV?
Let's not muck around for someone that likes to dabble in weed. That's a healthy side diet.
Yeah, I do smoke a lot of dope, but I'm not lazy, man. I've never been I used to like running a lot. I've started doing that again. Like balls up my knee because I'm 36.
What's that you're drinking? Bloody hell.
It's just pure health, man. This is tears. This is tears. Yeah, I've been crying. Drink it in the morning.
The way that looked, that felt like the earthiest perfume advert ever.
Did it? Yeah. By Mary.
Are you? Has this changed your sort of day-to-day being in lockdown?
It's had to, because of me bipolar. I've got to be careful, man. I have to look after myself. I've had to start doing something, otherwise I am going to go nuts. I've got a fucking treadmill and everything's killing me, dude. I mean, them weights there, it's just a bloody illusion. I've been on that once and nearly broke my spine. I just felt me. I've got the body of like a traveller's dog. I fucking lifted them up, dude. I just could have just left them there. My first push-up I did, I sharted.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I thought, I'll just try one, and shat down my fucking leg.
But what I love, no, you never see this in the celeb videos. It's always the lycra. It's always those kind of nice sort of pastel colours. You never see a man in a sort of an old jacket shitting his pants. So what are you doing other than this impressive exercise regime to get yourself through?
Yeah, so I'll talk you through my routine. So I get up feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Have a cup of tea, take my medicine. Within an hour that kicks in for my mental health. Start cleaning up, wiping down light switches. I'm sick. Like I try and get as many push-ups done as I can. Try and do 100. Drink a fucking protein thing. Order me stupid salads. That'll be the only person I see in the day, that Deliveroo guy, and he gets his head chewed off. How's it going? You all right? Well, Sean. Hates me. Hates his job, hates everything. So everything's been wiped down, like switches, toilet handle, everything. I'm like, it's like a serial killer's house, this. About once a week, like a treat is doing the bloody skirting boards or something like that. Wanking, out of control, like...
Really? What do you mean out of control?
Well, I was bad before.
Yeah.
But this, like, being locked up alone,
yeah,
you know, just like, I mean, it's a gamble. In the morning, a morning
it's a gamble. It's a gamble.
It's a gamble because it could knock you out or wake you up, couldn't it? It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to me? And then there's also, you've got to bear in mind is, you're going to need some shit to do later on. So don't do too much wanking now, because you've got another 4 hours of awakeness in your house.
So what kind of stuff are you writing? Because
all right. So I've got Brassic's been a big old thing.
For anyone who hasn't seen Brassic, can you describe your character to us?
All right. So Vinny is a mirror image of me, Joseph. He's got bipolar. He has a terrible temper, bad diet, and smokes too much dope. So we're very, very similar. He's the guy who I possibly could have become.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I was a bit of a career criminal. I will not go into too much, but I was a bad lad for a bit. I won't say a bad man, a bad lad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's loosely based on me colourful past and me terrible behaviour. Yeah.
And do you ever have moments where you're telling stories from your childhood when people are kind of going, "Nah, that didn't happen," and you're like,
all the time, dude. Yeah. I think I was telling Damo about being Damien Maloney about being shot at. He couldn't quite comprehend it. Like, what, with a gun? Yeah.
What? When was that? How old were you when you were shot at?
That was in Serbia. I was shot at in Serbia. I can't go into too much shit though.
Okay, well that's
got in a lot of trouble in Serbia.
Right. There you go. We'll leave it there. And how does it work because it's your baby? So do you like collaborate with the writers? How does that work?
Yeah. So what tends to happen is I'm an ideas guy. So I sort of go away. And we all do. We all think of various different ideas we want to put in the show.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that get it all together. They fix this jumble of all these different ideas. You know.
You're a bit like a sort of a comedy Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
You sort of come in and you're like, I want every song in the world in my phone. Can you fucking? And then they go, right, okay, Joe, we can do that. Yeah.
it's a nice feeling to be a cog that belongs in the machine. Like,
Yes.
I've always felt like I have been. But, I mean, look at me, dude. I know what I look like. Like, I smoke a ton of dope. I always stink of weed. I sound like I'm rough. You know, I'm tattooed. I get it. I understand what I look like. I fucking can't stand being underestimated, man. And I think only in the last few years, as it felt like people have gone, hang on a minute, like that might be worth listening to.
Yeah.
It's a massive deal for me, man. Like, I've always felt like such a fucking moron, you know, and you know, it's like there's 1,000 voices telling you how bloody pointless you are, and there's like that one that whispers and goes, listen, just, you can do it, man, and you have got something in you, just keep trying. And you know, I feel very fortunate and humbled by the whole process, in all truth. It's been amazing.
It's a very weird thing, that, isn't it? I think particularly if you come, not to generalize, but I think broadly speaking, if you come from a working class family and you have the audacity or the inkling to do something, you know, like, I'm going to be a stand-up, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to be a musician, you are normally met with that, fuck off. Like, mates, just, will you fucking talk?
Yeah.
But there's always that little voice that you've got to try and hold on to that just goes, yeah, but you might be able to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's hard, isn't it, just to keep hold of that, because the other voice is louder. You know? Yeah,
because you feel like an imposter, and to a degree, you're being told you're a bloody imposter as well. You know, you can be made to feel that way. Anyway, so I'm very lucky, man, and it's birthed this sort of God, it's fucking corny, but it's birthed a new. I believe in myself.
No, that's fucking great. But even that, but isn't that funny? Like, that's what makes you so likable, and that's so fucking English to sort of say, you know, I fucking believe in myself, and you look to the floor. Like, but it's that weird. If you were American, you would be like, I believe in myself, and I'm not the only one, and you can believe in me too. But you couldn't even look at me when you went, oh,
no, I'm shameful about it. I am, but I'm starting to. Yeah.
That was so great, Joe. Thank you very much for spending time with us.
Hey, what an absolute pleasure, man.
Yeah,
thanks.
Wonderful. See you later, man. That was awesome.
Be good, man.
He is a funny man. Join me after the break when I'll be talking to the brilliant Katherine Ryan, and we'll have music from Zuzu. Welcome back to the show. My next guest is the brilliant Katherine Ryan. You're used to seeing her like this.
Celine Dion is an entire O.J. Simpson prison sentence and a half older than I am. See? And there's not a person here who wouldn't fuck Celine Dion.
But earlier this week, me and Katherine caught up like this.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I'm well. I'm just going to move this a little bit. There.
I'll be honest with you. I'm slightly disappointed by the room that we find you in. And I'll tell you for why. I've been following you on Instagram, and your feed, it's like you're in an Attenborough documentary, because there's cats, there's dogs, there's ponies. It looks unbelievable. Where are you?
Thank you. I'm the new Attenborough. I decided earlier this year to move out of London, and I now live sort of on the border country with so many animals, and there are ponies that we have to go feed every day. That is an essential journey because they'll die if we don't feed them. And our pony has had to be moved. So first his belly got too full of grass, so he was put in the fat fighters field, and then he slimmed down in the fat fighters field. He started being something of a sexual predator.
Yep.
And he's very small, and if he's too predatory with some of the ladies, they'll kick him right in the face and they'll really hurt him. There are feminists out in the field. So we had to now put him just with a different herd of male ponies only.
Wow.
It's really complex.
That in itself feels like a Netflix documentary. What we have here is a sexually aggressive pony that got too fat. I didn't know ponies could get fat.
Well, they get too much grass because right now the ponies are just living their lives in the field, and the grass bloats them. I'm learning a lot about horses out in the country, Russell. You should try it.
Yeah. Have you got any guilty pleasures during this lockdown? Have you discovered anything?
I'm drinking earlier than normal. So my usual white wine schedule would be I'd have one maybe after the school run, because I just got my driver's license in June, And I felt like getting a driver's license is really good because it stops you drinking in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
You don't want to tell your instructor that is frowned upon.
Yeah, exactly.
But then now that I don't have to do the school run, you know, you see the moms, they go, oh, is it 5 o'clock? Is it 5? There's no more 5 o'clock. I love just being slightly tipsy. I have a brand new husband. Did you know that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I decided to get married, which I never thought I would do. And I really recommend it if you're thinking about it.
I'm married.
It's never too late. What?
Yeah.
When did you get married?
I got married June last year.
That was my thing. We both got married last year.
Yeah.
You and we got married at the perfect time because I know that there are a lot of people who are single in this pandemic, and I advocate being single. I like my own company, but they're struggling.
Well, I'll tell you how much they're struggling. British people have started making their own sex toys. And if the decline of our empire has taught us anything, we're not producers anymore. So I think there's people with battered hoops, smashed up vaginas and mangled dicks as we speak. So luckily, we don't have to do that. Unless I can't imagine you're making your own sex toy.
I'm not, but I'm always thinking, you know, I'm very industrious, entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
I know that we have a shortage of fruit pickers.
Go on.
You could get the boys on peaches. You could get the gals on courgettes.
Yes.
2 birds.
This is it. You and me need to go on Dragon's Den and close that show down.
That's what I call my vagina, actually.
And
I know that some of my neighbors and some of my sister's neighbors, because we got on the phone, they are sneaking out for dick appointments and they are ignoring the social distancing regulations because they're that desperate for human contact. And I think, you know, a dick appointment is just not worth it.
No, it's not. But it's, I mean, the world's changed. Do you know what I mean? Like, is dick appointment a phrase that is used in common parlance?
With my sister and I, it is, yeah.
Okay.
Do not use it.
No. You've just launched a new podcast, which is #1 in the podcast listings, which is amazing.
Thank you for now. Yeah, I just felt like it was something I was going to do anyway. And then I saw a lot of jokes about, oh, we're all in lockdown. Everyone's going to have a podcast. And I thought, yeah, now's the perfect time. Plus, I have other work that I'm meant to be getting to, and I've got to procrastinate somehow. I can't procrastinate in the old ways that I used to. So I thought, well, a podcast, you can drink in the garden and do a 30-minute podcast every Wednesday. Yeah.
When does the podcast come out? How can we download it? All that malarkey?
It's on Spotify and iTunes and all the different places that people normally get podcasts. It's every Wednesday, and there are 4 episodes out now. It's called Katherine Ryan, telling everybody everything.
Perfect. Great. Well, there you go. Something to do. Awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Take care.
Thank you, Russell. See you soon.
My final guest is a singer from Liverpool. Enemy magazine said was one of their faces to watch for 2020. Please welcome Zuzu.
Hello.
What a lovely top.
Thank you.
It's like, it's got a sort of a Quality Street feel to it.
Do you know what? That's true. I like the big purple one. I'll take that. I'll be the big purple one.
Yeah, why not? And the way you were doing that then, that was a bit like, you know, those things you see outside garages?
Oh my God, yeah.
It kind of... Now, you're going to perform for us.
Yes.
What's the song called?
It's called How It Feels.
What's it about?
It's just about admitting you're wrong and asking someone to come back. Like one of my best friends, Clem, her dad, gave us some advice once that was like, if you tell someone how you feel, then they can't get offended because it's not fact, it's just how you feel, you know?
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of how I got the idea for the song.
So I understand you've got somebody who's going to be performing with you.
Yes, Curran, he is my guitarist, he's in my band, he makes my records, so.
There he is. Hello, mate.
Hi.
How you doing? You all right?
How you doing, homie?
I'm very well. It's like you're performing on like a roller coaster, just behind each other. It's lovely.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Take it away.
We've got a little beat.
Nice.
I still think of you. I glorify it if I want to, yeah. It doesn't matter what I do, 'cause I still gravitate towards you. And you say you're coming through. Well, now I'm waiting on you, yeah. It doesn't matter what I do, I always think of you. Won't stop till our destination. And looking back, yeah, we almost made it. And I know that it's complicated. This is how it feels. Nothing else is real. This is how it feels. This is how it feels. I didn't say enough, but no, I didn't mean to fuck this up. And I know that it's been tough, and that you're having trouble waking up. But I still think of you, and you can come home if you want to, yeah. It doesn't matter what I do, I always think of you. Won't stop till our destination. And looking back, yeah, we almost made it. And I know that it's complicated. This is how it feels. Nothing else is real. This is how it feels. This is how it feels. Won't stop till our destination. And looking back, yeah, we almost made it. And yeah, I know that it's complicated, but this is how it feels. Nothing else is real. This is how it feels. This is how, yeah, this is how it feels. Won't stop till our destination. And looking back, yeah, we almost made it. And yeah, I know that it's complicated. This is how it feels. Nothing else is real. This is how it feels. This is how, yeah, this is how it feels.
Wonderful. That was fantastic. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
I love that. Thanks very much. What a pleasure. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank
and to the future. See you soon.
Thank you so much.
See you, mate. Well done.
Bye.
So there you go. That's the end of the show. Thanks very much for my guests, Joe Gilgun, Katherine Ryan, and Zuzu. As ever, you can get in contact with the hashtag HomeTime. Let's put it there. And anyone you want me to interview, any questions you've got. Thursday's our final episode, so let's make it an absolute belter. See you later.